welcome back to our pre-Thanksgiving, pre-Turkey Day presentation of 5 Minutes at the Frat House with Frat House Mike and Sidekick. And you know something, Sidekick? I forgot a few things last week during last week's show. And one of them we're incredibly thankful for, and I want to bring it up right now. And that is that our YouTube channel, the Frat House, rolled over to 5 digits last week. We went over 10,000 views in just 14 months.
Nice.
And at this moment right now, we stand at over 10,300 views for all of the shows that we've done. 64 of them plus, because we've done a few extras. And for that, can I tell you right now, we are incredibly thankful to all of you, our viewers, for keeping this going as long as we have been able to keep it on here and keep our motivation going, because we know that you're watching and we appreciate that. And all I ask now for, going into the next year, hey, do us a favor. Get 2 or 3 of your friends and family, just 2 or 3 of them, if each one of you, 2 or 3, to just watch us consistently. That would really, really help. All right, 2 or 3.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Absolutely, that would do it.
And how the show's grown. I mean, 14 months ago, we were doing 15-minute shows.
Yeah.
And as our fan base has increased and, we've gotten better with the production,
Oh.
our shows are now hitting, 25, 30 minutes. And we're covering all sports. I mean, we're covering LFL,
You got it.
HRA.
You got it.
Tour de France. We're covering everything now. So it's really...
And the technical advances as well that have taken places. We've got new cameras and lighting and what have you. I mean, the show just keeps getting better. And all of that as a result of what you guys have done for us and given us, like I said, giving us the motivation to keep doing this every single week. So thank you all.
So
and
kudos.
That's what we're thankful for. Alrighty, well, some of you might be thankful for the fact that NASCAR ended, huh? That one of the longest seasons of the entire sporting,
sports,
really, 36 races. And so let's go take a look and wrap up our NASCAR season from last week. And it was in a race that could have ended in a lot of tension, particularly between chase drivers, Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer. And it was funny, Sidekick, because I'm watching the race, and every time those two are riding side by side, there's the camera. The camera's like zooming right in on those two, almost anticipating that something was going to happen, following all of the animosity from last week and all of the rumors of potential retribution. It was kind of ironic in many respects that in the final race at Homestead Miami Speedway, irony of all things, it ended with Jeff Gordon getting the checkered flag at that particular race. And who got second? Clint Boyer. Are you kidding me? Could this have ended the season any better? I mean, they could have scripted it. If I didn't know better, I would have thought it was wrestling.
It kind of we went on about the race last at Phoenix and how bad it was and stuff like that. But actually, because of that incident, it made the Miami Homestead race more interesting.
It sure did.
Jimmy Johnson went out early in the race.
Yep.
And so Brad was just running laps. There was really no story. There was no build-up to the race. Mm-hmm. So at least with Gordon and Boyer, running real close with each other the whole race, and eventually coming in first and second, it kept the race exciting because you were looking to see what was going on.
Well, that's why I say I'm surprised it wasn't scripted by wrestling or something. Listen, others who came in the top 5 included Ryan Newman, who came in 3rd. Kyle Busch.
Again.
I'm going to talk about it in 1 second and just give you the numbers on it. Came in 4th for another top 5. And our early season wonder, Greg Biffle, came in 5th. And as I just mentioned, I did go back and I researched that. Are you ready for this? Kyle Busch had 7 top 5s in the 10 chase races.
Wow.
7 top 5s.
Who does that? Who has time?
I didn't check to see whether anybody else did, but I dare say I don't think anybody else did. I'm not sure on that for sure, but boy, that's
and what really sucks about that run for Kyle Busch is if he had been in the chase, he probably would have been contending.
Absolutely.
For the championship.
I thought of that today when I looked up the numbers. Absolutely.
But now he's pleading his case that now maybe 13 drivers need to be in.
Well, all right. Let's. That sounds a little sour grapes to me. But okay, listen. The winner in the end, though, really, when it comes right down to it, the winner at Homestead Miami, largely ignored at the conclusion, particularly of this one.
As it should have been.
Well, as we crowned a new NASCAR champion, first timer Brad Keselowski came in 15th place, but ultimately won the championship for the entire season. 15th.
An excellent driver.
Yes, he was, and 15th place was just good enough to get himself atop the leaderboard by 39 points over Clint Boyer. And you know, I hate to be in Clint's rearview mirror, but boy, how that thing could have been different had things not changed. You know, had been the way that they were last weekend, huh?
Yeah, but I think Sunday when we were looking at it though, we went back and looked at the points.
What it would have taken,
and
yeah.
he still would have come in second place.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been enough to.
Well, he came in second because that was kind of the other side story. Five-time champion Jimmy Johnson entered the race just 20 points behind Keselowski. He ended up third overall on the points on the leaderboard, as you're going to see here. Penalized for a pit stop violation, and then with just 43 laps remaining in the race, ended up garaging the car, his number 43 Lowe's car, with an oil line issue.
I think that's 48.
I'm sorry. Thank you. 48. Yes, 48 car. All but finished his hopes for a six-time championship. And you can see how the total leaderboard turned out right there. And so our congratulations from the Frat House to our first-time champion, Brad Keselowski and Penske Racing. And NASCAR will kick right back up again. Can you imagine? In February, we talked about this with NHRA last week. Kick right back up in February, just 2 weeks thereabouts after the Super Bowl, incredibly. And we'll be bringing it all right back to you again with the Daytona 500. There's our racing for the year. I can't believe we're not going to be talking about it for a couple of months. All right, let's go switch it over to the fast-paced, hard-hitting world of NHL hockey. How about that one, huh? And with racing, as I just pointed out now in the rearview mirror, we're going to be spending a lot more time covering one of our favorite sports, huh? And so we thought what we would do this evening to kick it off is we would bring you a quick scoreboard update of the games that have been played just this week through last evening on Tuesday night. And so let's take a look at that scoreboard. Alrighty. And so there you have it, huh? Consider yourself up to date with the NHL. And
exciting this week.
It really was. I mean,
they really did it with the scheduling this year.
I'm going to tell you, you can't get much more fast-paced than that. And listen, next week, we've got even more features for you. We'll be bringing you the division breakdowns and who the leaders are next week. So we're looking forward to that, as I know all of you are as well. So make sure you're tuning in. Alrighty. NFL football, and it's Thanksgiving football tomorrow, huh?
Mm-hmm. Love it.
And, you know, it's funny because Thanksgiving football always kind of signals to me, Sidekick, the beginning of the real big push to the playoffs. Yes. And so here we go.
Or, ultimately, the demise of the Cowboys.
Well, we're going to see about that one in a moment because they're our top... They're our top highlighted game. Listen, we've got really three pretty good games going on the schedule for Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. And we're going to be taking a look at, we're going to highlight two of those, and then we're going to take a look at two others. And let's kick it off with game one, which will be tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day. And that's the Washington Redskins, who are 4-6, who are going to be at the Dallas Cowboys, who are 5-5. And that's the 4:15 game tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day. This is an NFC East rival. The Redskins last week manhandled a leadership-less and rudderless, let's get it straight, Philadelphia Eagles team, 31-6. RG3 ended the game with a startling 158.3 QB rating. But let me catch up by saying this. He really only put the ball in the air 15 times, but he completed 14 of them for 4 TDs. Can you say lack of defense on the Eagles' part? Look at the balanced offense in this particular game. 169 yards on the ground, 200 yards in the air. But again, I'm going to couch it for a moment by saying 84 of those yards on the ground came from RG3 himself. Now, I got a real quick question.
And it was against the Eagles.
And it was. And real quick question. Do you consider RG3 potentially the Rookie of the Year leader at this particular moment?
Yeah, I think so. Due to, part of it because of the position. The quarterback's position and the presence. And
so you're going to give him a little bit of a nod over Andrew Luck?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So far.
Right. And that's what I'm asking for right now. Yeah,
I think right now, I think RG3 is the leader versus Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Only because it's kind of like the Cam Newton last year. Andrew Luck has been winning games. I think I forget what their record is, but they're a 500 team. But he's doing it in the air. RG3, he's running, he's passing. So I think
seems to be doing it all. I don't know whether it's a good idea to be having your quarterback being your leading rusher, but at this point right now, it's working. So
right.
All right, let's go take a look at the Dallas Cowboys on the other side. They had a struggle against a growingly, surprisingly, in my opinion anyhow, Cleveland Browns team. But they ultimately did beat them in overtime, 23-20. Typical Cowboys game here, Sidekick. No ground game. Romo airs it out, throwing the ball 50 times with a TD. And then what they do is they sit back and they pray that Dan Bailey can kick them 3 field goals. I mean, really, that was the whole game plan. And actually, it's beginning, in my opinion, to look a bit predictable. Perhaps even what I would call Eagles stale. Yet the boys are favored tomorrow by 3. Which team turns out to be the turkey in this one?
Well, looking at it, the history of the Redskins playing the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, the Redskins have not beaten Dallas. So I'm going to go with Dallas on this one, as this will be the last game that Dallas wins of the season. Because we're going into December, Romo will go into a slump, and we'll never hear from them again.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to tell you, the Cowboys, in my opinion, are moving. I mean, here's the situation. I think they're looking upward. They're looking at the possibility of the chance that they could, in fact, win the NFC East. And like you, I am going with the Cowboys on this one as well.
Oh, and we're being told that Romo is 5-0 on Thanksgiving.
5-0 on Thanksgiving.
So,
alrighty. So
maybe that's the problem. Maybe if he would lose one on Thanksgiving, he'd do better in December.
That's why they fall apart later on in the year.
He gets a little high on the turkey.
Too much turkey there after the fact. There it is.
A little tryptophan.
All right, let's go take a look at Game 2. And Game 2 is also tomorrow, and that's the Thanksgiving game. New England Patriots 7-3 at the New York Jets, who are 4-6. And that's the late game tomorrow night. That's the third of the 3 games. That's on at 8:20. What can you say about last week's game? Holy smokes, this was a Bill Belichick offensive game against the Indianapolis Colts last weekend. Throttled down and no mercy as they killed the Colts. 59-24. Brady, 24 of 35. 331 yards, 3 TDs, no interceptions. But where did this come from? The Pats actually had a ground game. They ran the ball 25 times, 115 yards, and 2 TDs. Bad news for the Pats. Rob Gronkowski out for the next 4 to 6 weeks with a broken forearm. Gronk currently ranks 11th in the league in receiving and has 10 TDs for the Pats. All right, so let's keep that in mind as we make our pick. But over on the other side, while the Jets have looked like a team that has been in complete disarray for most of the season, they put all of that aside last week as they dismissed your St. Louis Rams 27-13. Mark Sanchez may have just had his best game of the entire season, racking up a 118.3 QB rating, going 15 of 20 for 178 yards and a TD. They were actually able to institute a hyped ground and pound game by running the ball 41 times for 125 yards on the ground, and that was led by Sean Green, who had 64 of those yards. Patriots are favored by 6.5 in this one. Could this actually be competitive?
No. No, not at all.
But nonetheless.
Yes, this is my Bomb-Diggity-Bomb pick of the week. Yeah, the Jets really all season for the most part have looked rather anemic.
Yeah.
And, constantly, Sanchez, when are we going to see Tebow? No run game from Sean Green.
Right.
Suspect defense, bad offensive line.
Offensive line.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see another, Patriots 59-24 style matchup. So I'm going with the Patriots.
Yeah, frequently I do not like the Patriots lines, but I'm going to tell you something. I think that they actually might cover this one easily. Take the Patriots. Game 3, we're moving over to Sunday. That's the San Francisco 49ers, 7-2-1 at the New Orleans Saints, who are 5-5, and that's the 4:30 game on Sunday. Wow, everybody thought that the Bears were going to give the 49ers a real battle, but without Cutler, I'm going to tell you, this looks like a completely different team. The Bears were completely ineffective. 49ers smacked the Bears down on Monday night, 32-7. Colin Kaepernick, are you kidding me? He looked like a veteran against the Bears defense. He went 16-23, 243 yards, 2 TDs, and a 133.1 QB rating. How about Frank Gore with 78 yards on the ground? How about Vernon Davis with 6 receptions, 83 yards, and a TD? Currently, word is Kaepernick is starting again this week against a suspect Saints defense.
And
so,
you thought Forte was going to run over them last week, didn't you?
I actually did. I did, and I didn't do well in that department.
Don't you give me none of your facts, huh?
Yeah. Well, let's go take a look at the New Orleans Saints. All the New Orleans Saints had to do last week was sneeze last week to blow the Oakland Raiders away, 38-17. The Saints they're another team that is suddenly looking up from a 5-5 record, and I think they're actually starting to believe that they might be able to make the playoffs as a wild card. Holy smokes, when you look at Drew Brees' numbers, monstrous, 20 of 27, 219 yards, 3 TDs, and 134.6 QB rating. Brees just moved the ball all over the field. 4 different rushers led by Mark Ingram, 8 different receivers led by Marquise Colston, and Lance Moore with 2 TDs. This looks like it could be an awesome game, to be perfectly honest with you. It really does. This looks like it could be a lot closer than the records indicate. San Fran is favored by 2.5. Does this game live up to my hype?
Well, I think I'm going to ride the hot hand, and I'm going to use same thing I said last week. Yes, I agree. We're starting to see the Saints of old now.
Yeah.
But I think the Niners defense is going to save them again this week. And it's going to cut down on seeing Mark Ingram and, Sproles isn't back in, but, the running core for the Saints.
Right.
Brees is going to have to do it in the air if he's going to do it.
Well, I might.
And he's got talent. I'm not saying he doesn't have talent, but I think it's going to be harder for them. I think the 49ers will eke this one out. It'll be low scoring and a close game.
That San Fran defense just looked absolutely awesome on Monday night. So I might agree with you there. That defense is, and if Kaepernick can come out and have the kind of game that he did the other night, this is a no-brainer. I'm picking San Fran on this one as well, and I'll ride the Kaepernick wagon for a minute. Let's go take a look at Game 4. Game 4 is the Green Bay Packers 7-3 at the New York Giants, who are 6-4, and that is the late Sunday night game at 8:25. The Packers found themselves in a fight last week against the Detroit Lions, managing a 24-20 win. Aaron Rodgers went 19 of 27 for 236 yards, 2 TDs, and 1 interception. Green Bay ran the ball 29 times, led by James Starks, 25 of those for 74 yards. Rodgers had 2 aerial TDs, one to Randall Cobb and one to Jermichael Finley. One could say that the game really, on this particular case, this game was won by the Packers' defensive touchdown by Jennings. 72-yard pick 6. That was really the difference in the game. The Giants are coming off of the bye. And also a big-time loss in Week 10 against the Cincinnati Bengals, where they lost 31-13. And what appeared to me, in that particular game, they just got away from their winning formula, Sidekick. Balance running, their normal balance running and passing game. Eli Manning was just awful. He went 29 of 46, no TDs, 2 interceptions. He had a 56.0 QB rating. Giants were simply ineffective in cracking the Bengals defense that particular week. Giants, nonetheless, though, in this one are favored 2.5. Do they rebound this week? What do you think?
Well, I want to first, before I get to that real quick, I just want to say that the joke that has been professional football in Ohio, try to say that 10 times fast, not this season.
Not with Cleveland. They're coming on, and
Cleveland
Cincinnati.
and Cincinnati are both looking pretty good. They're not gonna be any kind of division.
I agree with you.
Division leaders, but these two teams in past years have been jokes and have been automatic toss-ups for wins, and it's not happening this year for both teams. So that's interesting. Now back to Packers and Giants. I'm gonna go with the Giants to win this one. Sorry, more bad news for Dallas fans, but Giants are gonna win this one, and this is where they typically get on their roll, marching towards the playoffs.
Right.
And they will widen that gap with the Cowboys. Sorry, Cowboys.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I think this was just about the time of year last year that we saw the exact same kind of pattern from the Giants. And I agree with you. This is where they're going to start to bring it on. Giants are coming off of the bye. I think that probably helps them. They had some time to lick their wounds from that loss. Pick the Giants on this one. There you have it. Those are our 4 gobble games for this year, huh? Alrighty. Hey, let's go take a look at our Frat House Facebook post of the week.
Yep.
And that's football related as well. And kudos to you, Sidekick. The post that got the most views for us this week was the poll that you just put up just yesterday.
Yep.
Where you asked the question, should Andy Reid be fired before the end of the season? And we had some tremendous participation from all of our Frat House fans and friends out there, and really great comments as well. We had some terrific comments. It was a whole thread of them. We couldn't even show them all up here. That's how many we got. In the end right now, and the vote is still close. It's still going on. I mean, people are still voting on it as we speak. Mm-hmm. Vote was close, but currently right now, 55% of the voting public have indicated they would, in fact, leave Andy Reid, stay on to finish out the season. In agreement with them as well. So, terrific participation there, and we appreciate it. And we're going to keep putting up polls like that, maybe a little more often. And so make sure you get out there, like us over on Facebook, and participate in those polls. Alrighty, let's give our shout out to our buddy Jonathan Regis over at fanjunkies.net.
Yep.
All right. Hey, you got a long weekend coming here, folks, so this is a great time for you to get out there. Sign up for it. It's completely free. You're going to have a couple of minutes. I know you are. Sometime tomorrow, on Friday, on Saturday, wife, kids out there, they're all shopping at the malls. You got time. Sit down, sign up for Fan Junkies. Get over there. It's free. All right?
And go back and look at some of our past episodes while you're there.
Absolutely.
Or not while you're at Fan Junkies, but also hit up the YouTube page.
You got it. That's right. Listen, while you're at it too, you got to check out Fan Junkies Radio. We just came off of our 29th show just today. Jonathan and I were on there Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's over on Blog Talk Radio. We had a terrific show today with Kim Anderson of the LFL from the Chicago Bliss. And that show, are you ready? Currently right now, sitting at over 2,000 listens. Incredible in just one day. And boy, it was a lot of fun having that conversation with her today.
Oh, sure. I was actually able to get in on
this. Yeah, you were through the chat room.
I was in the chat room asking questions.
Right, you can listen live, and you can actually communicate with us while we're on the air that way, or you can call into the show, all right? Blog Talk Radio, Fan Junkies Radio, get over there and check that out. All right, finally, last but not least, how about Frat House Sports? We always put ourselves last. That's because we're thankful for everybody else.
Yep.
FratHouseSports.net. Make sure you check it out. All right, get over there, help us out. Read some of the new content that's up there. Oh, these shows are always up there, and I'm always looking for new writers. So anything you want to write about, anything at all. All right. Now this kind of ties into it. About 2 weeks ago, and this is the second thing that I forgot when I started out the show.
Yep.
2 weeks ago, you said we're going to be sponsoring a couple MMA fighters.
Yes, we've teamed with, or are sponsoring, however you want to put that, with Streamline Fight Sports. As some of you may know, I've really started trying to lose my weight and got into MMA and have been training and stuff, and have really gotten into this. So opportunity came up for sponsorship, so we've gone and we've sponsored some fighters over there at Streamline Fight Sports, and hopefully from time to time we may be able to get them on the show and
there you go.
Do a little interview. My coach Hector has a fight December 1st down at Harrah's in Chester,
Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Okay.
Down at the casino that we'll be going to, and have shirts and everything. So I'm really looking
And that's
forward
where
to that.
Frat House Sports is going to be displayed.
Yes.
It'll be on their shirts.
Yep, on their
On
shirts.
December 1st.
On December 1st.
December 1st
Yes.
at Harrah's, Chester. So you want to, if you're down in that neck of the woods, you want to check that out. One more thing I don't want to forget. We had a birthday here at the Frat House yesterday. Yes, and
Yes,
it was
we did.
Sidekick's birthday.
Yes.
And he was on that.
He turned 62.
Yes, he did. He's quite a bit younger than I am. Look how fit he is. My gosh, all that MMA training is helping
40
out.
pounds.
No, he's not 62, folks. He is definitely not 62. And there you go. There's from the Frat House for Sidekick. Happy birthday, dude.
Thank you.
All right. Little Thanksgiving gift and birthday gift
Yep.
all wrapped into
My
one.
favorite.
There. All right. And we kept it calorie free, or thereabouts. Just about calorie free. All right. Lastly, hey, you know what you got to do? You got to keep us real. You got to keep us live. You got to keep us going. And we wish you all a wonderful Thanksgiving with you and yours. See you next week.
All right, got to do a better job. I'll take full responsibility. Time's yours.
I remember when you screwed up the first time. 14 years later is enough. Cause like you hadn't had a sack in a month. And you say you'll do a better job.
Better job.
What? Then you come out again and say, listen, I'm taking full responsibility. I've had it. Every week is Groundhog Day. I say I hate you and you say you'll fix it. Time's yours.
Time's yours.